to meet you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. Congratulations.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Nice to
you
meet
too.
you. Isabelle Sofya
Isabelle
is
Sofya.
Isabelle Sofya.
Yeah.
Love. Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel? Are you guys so excited?
Yeah,
We're
we're
super
really
excited.
excited. It's
Yeah.
been like a journey getting here, just like finishing everything, and we're happy to finally
Yeah.
be here.
You're saying
Totally.
it's been a full year. Yeah, it's been a full year of like starting to think about like the scripts were finished like this time last year and we were starting in pre-production, and so it's cool to be here a year later.
Yeah, that's amazing. I was talking to, excuse me, Pauline yesterday, and she had nothing but good things to say about it, naturally.
Yeah, awesome.
I read a little bit about the prereq of the idea and that it came from or was inspired by you guys, your lives personally, and I'd love if you can touch more on that, like why you decided to bring your personal experiences into a narrative story.
Yeah.
I think as writers, we both tend to write from a personal place individually. I think that that's just always been something that I've been drawn to, and is what I enjoy also reading and seeing, which is, feeling like something is raw and
Authentic.
personal and authentic. And we also just were encountering a lot of new things in our relationship that we hadn't seen represented and hadn't experienced and felt exciting and new and sometimes confusing to us. And so I think it also came from a place of processing that and hoping to show other people a different version of a relationship and sexuality and identity.
No, I feel like no matter, we were like what Sophia said, and just like no matter how many like queer stories are out there, I'm always like, I just want more. I
Mhm.
want more. Like there's always a new thing to add or like see
Right.
or a way to get it even closer. Yeah. Yeah.
Totally. Happy Pride Month also.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Um, yeah, I can imagine that it's like a really cathartic experience and also like kind of meta, like seeing someone play out an experience that you
Yeah.
personally lived. I mean, I'm sure. Is there anything like maybe during the writing process or like during production that like felt like really vulnerable, like almost like too real, like having this like these
Yeah.
people portray what you guys are, like the dynamic that you guys have?
Yeah, we always were like making jokes about how we're like, oh my God, like we're being dragged. Like the way people are like talk like clearly they were just talking about the story where like this is the most embarrassing thing ever we've written. Like, yeah, to like have it like enacted back to
Yeah.
us or read back to us and
Mhm.
like I don't know, sometimes it's just like the phrasing of stuff. But
Yeah.
like yeah.
Even the writing process though, I think was like the process itself was cathartic because we
Yeah.
also learned how to work together. And this was our
True.
first time writing something together. And I think we learned a lot about our relationship through writing it, even though it evolved and became its own thing. And Pauline and Coral made it their own in such a beautiful way.
Yeah.
So I think that like any good art, cathartic and embarrassing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. I'm when I read that you guys wrote it together, co-directed it, yes? Okay.
The first
I'm
and the
al-
last episodes we co-directed, and then other people, yeah,
Other
other
friends directed the
directors
other. Yeah.
for each of
okay,
them.
amazing, amazing. During the episodes that you guys were co-directing, I'm always curious from a directorial perspective, like how someone would balance like the tone of a story while also like keeping the characters authentic and respecting the narrative. How was the dynamic and like the experience when you guys are both trying to do that at the same time?
Um,
I think
yeah,
no, I think that it felt very natural to
yeah,
direct it. I
Mm,
feel like it's like because it's the TV model, it's like we created it. We were show running the whole thing. So even when we had other directors, we were really there being responsible for
getting the
getting
tone.
the tone, getting the story, making sure that every episode was relating to the whole season. But when we were directing, I think we were also just yeah, excited about seeing how things played out too, and especially just trusting Pauline and Coral so much. Like I feel like they just got the tone like pretty
Yeah, they were
instantly.
like a
And so I
tone.
felt very safe with them. And they ended up really being also like so on top of making sure everything tracked with their characters, and they were just such smart performers in that way.
Yeah, Yeah, I found it very easy to direct together because we were so just because I think we had been writing it for so long and talking about the tone and like we were like the two people who were like knew exactly what the show was and like
Mhm.
it was amazing to also have like everyone put their creative
Yeah,
stamp on it and like bring new things to it, but we were always like
the North
the
Star.
North Star, yeah.
I also love that within like the first scene, there's astrology mentioned.
Yeah.
You
Like
gotta.
LA.
it's like stamp of approval for like like queer forward
Yeah.
narrative. I
Yeah.
love that. It's so funny. Do you guys tend to like ask new people what their signs are? And if you do, like what's your interpretation? Because some people are like will use it for like excuses for like bad behavior, use it for bad, and some people are just like using it as like a guideline for how this person might view the world. I'm curious on your takes on astrology.
Mm. Well,
Well, I'm the Lena here, so I definitely
yes.
I love astrology. I think queer people are drawn to astrology also because it is sort of this like tongue-in-cheek language way
Mm.
of like yeah, just understanding yourself and the world and being able to sort of make fun of yourself also
Mhm.
and have a sense of humor about it and have a sense of belonging. And I personally don't think there's any like bad signs. I think there are people who are evolved and uninvolved inside of, and then some difficult placements. But I think that part of why we also put it in that first scene, beyond just the truth of it, is that I think we're interested in like categorization and how it can
Hmm.
both limit and expand us. And I think that like we feel that way about queerness sometimes, where
Like it gives us language and then also like we need to go beyond it sometimes.
yeah,
Yeah.
it can
It can also like
force you into a box that
yeah.
I think like we certainly don't feel with our sexualities. And so I think that there's a fun kind of irony and interplay there.
Um I was like really not into astrology before meeting Sophia, but she makes it really fun and she's
Mhm.
great at like yeah, making it really positive and interesting. But I do think that like, it's a fun way to start a conversation.
I asked Pauline this yesterday, so I'm gonna ask you guys this too. Like the concept of like exploring and testing things outside of a relationship, in this case sexually. Do you think that like you can answer from like a personal perspective and maybe also the narrative within the narrative, but is it something that you think like truly brings people together or pulls them apart? Like exploring like communication and honesty, and
Yeah.
what does that dynamic look like for you guys, and like how has that manifested for you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like it could go either way.
Hmm.
Like I think a lot of what we see in like media and yeah, is it tearing pe people opening and then it tearing people apart and like things break down. But I also think that it matters like the reason you open
Mhm.
and like if you start from a place of like wanting yeah, just wanting to learn more about yourself and your partner and have it feed back into your relationship versus like save your relationship
Mhm.
is important. And I feel like the thesis for us is that like we wanted to show that like it doesn't have to break apart, that it can actually help
Yeah,
tool of communication.
exactly. And I see it as an opportunity. So it's like an opportunity that um you can use that can go either way, like Isabel said. And for me, it's an opportunity to open communication and also see your partner as a whole person who has their own desire and their own like full inner world. And to me, that's really hot. Like I love thinking about the person I'm with, like having desire and being desired. And it just opens up this wide, expansive thing to me that feels like a way to have both freedom and commitment inside of a relationship. So if all goes well, that's the hope. And I think in the show for us, it's um, that's the larger question, which is like, can they figure out what they want from this, and can they get what they want from this through um, being honest with themselves and each other? And if so, then they may be rewarded.
Yeah. Yeah, I do love I did love like the forward thinking of like the positive side of the coin, because just like a lot of things in a relationship, whatever decision you make, like it can go up in flames if it's not cared for correctly. So I do appreciate that this was like within like a lighter version, and how possibly it can turn into something really positive for the relationship and for the people involved. So I really appreciated that. This is like definitely a generic question, but I always love to ask this, and you kind of answered it, Sophia. But when people are watching this, the entire series, like, what do you want them to like take from it? From like maybe either could be like, I'm sure there's gonna be like heterosexual couples looking at this, watching this too, but like queer couples and just like couples in general, people in love.
Yeah.
What do you want them to take from it?
I definitely want people to see that, yeah, desire is expansive. Your relationship can be expansive. That can mean, you know, something as simple as like talking about finding someone hot together. Doesn't have to be as far as like everyone has to open their relationship. But I think that we get caught in these ideas of what a relationship should be and what it should look like. And I think by nature of being in a queer relationship, you have the opportunity to rewrite all these rules, but straight couples should also be doing that. You know, we should all be thinking about ways to improve our communication and intimacy with each other. And then I think like the world's your oyster. Like you can have it all.